It's also, we're shouting out to neighbors today. If you've got a good neighbor, we'd love to hear about that.
Our phone number, 800-221-9356. Also, if you have a ministry or church that's in your neighborhood that really ministers in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
then we'd love to hear that story too, because
Sure.
there are so many great organizations that are just helping people in their neighborhoods. And maybe you have a story about that you can share.
That's right. 800-221-9356 is our number. One ministry that we're going to highlight a little bit later on this hour that's doing great things, and that's the Center. We're going to talk with Penny Kellenberger a little bit later on this hour about what they've been up to as well during this pandemic, and also how they're reaching out to those in need right now. So we'll talk with her coming up here in just about a half hour. Right now, Unspoken. Here's Call It Grace on Moody Radio Quad Cities. Good morning, Facebookers.
Ken is back. Yay. And we're where we should be as far as sitting
Yes.
or standing or,
Something.
yeah. See, yesterday, Ken,
Yes.
I kept on, well, Jeremy, you want to tell the story? You were getting ready to tell the story.
Well, I was just going to say that yesterday I pointed out to Deb that, do you remember that before COVID, you two had swapped seats?
Yeah.
We had adjusted it so that you could signal me easier.
Right.
And so I brought that up to Deb because she's like, we're going to go back to normal. Change is going to be done. And I'm like, but Deb.
I can see number 8 coming out. He's the point of reference. That's not exactly true.
Yeah, because I was having a hard time yesterday. I was signaling for the music to stop toward the camera, which was not toward Jeremy.
Yeah.
Because it's just
Right, because you were over
habit.
there, right? You were on the other.
Yes, because of habit.
Right.
We are such creatures of habit.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
So she was waving to me instead of the listeners, and she was pointing to the listeners instead of pointing to me. And
It's like a who's on first.
Oh,
cats
that's what
and
the comment
dogs
was
were
I
getting
saw that
along
said-
together.
That's where the comment was that, Deb, you're pointing at the camera again. Or something I think I saw. Couldn't figure out what that comment made, so now I understand.
You know, I'm so thankful for grace, people's grace, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a wonderful thing.
It is. Yeah, Lori said good morning, and very thankful our Lord and Savior Jesus gave insight to people to make air conditioners. Yes.
Amen. Boy,
That's
I'm
for
thankful
sure.
for that.
Yeah.
Hey, here's something interesting that I was thinking about this morning. It has kind of to do with your neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that is, what do you think about kids doing 2 days in school and 2 days at home? They're thinking a lot of the schools are coming up with plans now to be in school part of the time,
Yeah.
like 2 days a week, and then to be at home 1 or 2 days a week. And they're going to do some subjects in school and some subjects online. And
What's their thinking on that? Is that just to reduce the chance of getting the virus, or?
and
What's
probably
that?
have less chance of getting it, maybe because less amount of kids at a time in the building.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wonder what do you think about that? Is that going to be hard for parents, especially if you work? Like, how
Yeah.
do you figure that out?
That'd be kind of difficult, I think, for those that work. I was also talking with a high schooler. He's going into his senior year, and he's in band. And he said, that everybody's going to have to wear masks going back to school. And he goes, how's this going to work? When we got to play our instruments, I said, well, I'm assuming they'll probably have you take them off, but still,
Yeah.
how's that going to work?
And those brass players, they spit something out on the floor
Yeah.
all the time. Like, they're
Right.
always spitting and spraying. I mean, how in the nothing against you if you're a brass player, but
Hey, it's just part of the
it's
gig,
part of the thing.
right?
I don't know how that's going to work either.
Right.
It's going to be inevitable, I think, in band that you might get some spray on you.
Yeah,
Even
I might have to wear a shield,
there you go. That's probably it. Put a shield.
right?
Yeah.
Unspoken. Love that song. It's called Call It Grace on Moody Radio at 7:07. And maybe you've shown grace to someone else, or somebody else has shown grace to you as a neighbor. And you were talking about neighbors today, and how, well, if it weren't for our neighbors in Oklahoma, I don't know if we necessarily, God has his ultimate plan. But our neighbors in Oklahoma were instrumental in leading us to the Lord.
Wow.
You know, just by their example and going to church and being a witness to us, by being a good neighbor. And so then we asked if we could go to church with them. And then we started going to church with them. And then the pastor came over and really was speaking into my life. And then the evangelism explosion class from the church came over and presented the gospel to us. So, I mean, if our neighbors in Oklahoma would not have reached out, it might have been delayed when we got, you know, but they were obedient to what the Lord was calling them to do in their ministry. So, you know, being a
Wow,
good
what a
neighbor can have a
story.
huge impact.
That's right. Boy,
know?
maybe you have a situation like that where you came to know the Lord through a neighbor. Share it with us this morning. Give us a
Yeah.
call, 800-221-9356. I have received a lot of grace from my neighbors.
Yeah.
Thinking of that. I mean, when I first moved in, I didn't exactly know where the line for our property was.
Yeah.
And I accidentally cut something down that wasn't mine.
Oh.
But my neighbors were very gracious about it. I was just trying to make it look better, but I didn't realize it wasn't mine to make it look better. Learned an important lesson.
Yes.
Find
that's-
out where your boundaries are.
Exactly. That's right.
Number one.
That's always a good thing. Check out where those boundaries are at when you're going to start doing stuff like that. Exactly. Hey, you can let us know as well, maybe what you're thankful for. Maybe you're thankful for the neighbor that you have. And it could be like a double whammy. You can give us a call or text us at 800-221-9356.
Well, good morning, Phyllis. Phyllis is with
Hey,
us
Phyllis.
this morning, and Lori.
Phyllis, look at Deb's outfit. She's looking very
Yes,
very color coordinated.
I was
today.
telling Ken that you came over and helped me put together colors
That's
and,
right.
and outfits and clean out my closet.
Yeah.
What a good friend.
Well, and she did a good job. It looks good.
She's very talented in that.
Very cool. Well, it's nice. Heidi, as always, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. So, what'd you guys do while I was gone?
Work?
Is that what we were doing?
Now you've let the secret out.
No, we've been talking about neighbors all this week. Jared Hall was here one of the days.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And yeah, it's been a good week. It's wonderful to have friends. We missed you, but it's wonderful to have friends joining us on the live stream. And I love the feedback that we get right away with things that we're doing and saying. And Jeremy, what was a highlight for you?
Highlight for me last couple of days? I'll have to think about that.
You went to the machine shed.
I did. And I got stuck in that storm in Davenport yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That was a nasty storm. If
See, if you'd
had,
had your Ken and Deb in the morning umbrella, you could.
if I had, oh, I wish I had.
Yeah, but well, it was interesting because
Hold that thought. It's 11 minutes after 7 o'clock as we are also live streaming on Facebook right now. If you want to check it out at Ken and Deb in the morning, and you can see the color coordinated Deb this morning. She's looking very color coordinated. Got her outfit all matched up. Thanks, Phyllis.
yeah, thanks to my friend Phyllis.
Yes. So anyway, that's what we got going on if you want to check it out on Facebook. Also, like we said, we're talking about good neighbors today. If you want to share a story, 800-221-9356. But one thing that I was using while I was on vacation was the Moody Radio app. And I was using it to listen to different programs and different podcasts. And one of those is a brand new podcast we have out.
It's Just Gospel Podcast and talk about being a good neighbor. If you want to be a good neighbor and get to know other people and work towards racial reconciliation and a good neighborhood, this is one podcast to catch because they're talking about those issues of getting along with each other and getting to know each other and being a church that accepts people from all different backgrounds and all different people groups, and embraces what the church really is.
Yeah.
And that is making one out of many.
Right, exactly. And I was just thinking, as we were talking about getting to know each other, I was waiting for you to bust into song. Getting to know
Oh,
you.
yes. Getting to know all about
See?
you.
There you go. Just Gospel Podcast. You can find that under the Discover tab on your Moody Radio app. Here is Michael W. Smith and Waymaker on Moody Radio Quad Cities. Good morning.
All right, so what were you saying, Deb?
I forgot.
Train went right off the track.
That's right. Might as well be honest with it instead of trying to backpedal.
Well, in the spirit of honesty, when you guys asked me about my highlight, I'm monitoring the live stream right now, so I wasn't fully clued into your conversation. I was like lagging 30 to 45 seconds in the past.
I'm very easily distracted, and then I get on another, and then I'm like focused on that track, and then you can't get me back unless you. It'll come around. It's kind of like, yeah. Eventually, the track comes around.
Phyllis says we have many other surprise colors to come.
Oh,
Can't wait. Wow.
don't give away all my secrets yet. So, I think I know what I was going to talk about.
Okay, what was
It was
that?
just the fact that yesterday it was the weirdest storm because it didn't even rain in some places. Like it didn't
No.
even rain at my house yesterday, even though we needed rain, but it didn't even show up. I mean, I ended up having to water my garden, or not flowers,
Okay.
my flowers.
Yeah.
I had to water my flowers yesterday because it didn't rain at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been having to do that a lot. Water our garden.
I mean, watching the radar of it, I mean, it seemed like the storm just grew there and just set.
Yeah.
I didn't even really see it move.
So you had to make a mad dash for the car, huh?
Yeah, it didn't it didn't leave like I hoped it would. I ended up dripping wet.
Yeah, well, I was telling you guys earlier about how we were out bailing last night, and it was about, I don't know, still about 7, I guess, and we had this huge cloud moving towards us, which I was thankful for because it brought, it hid the sun a little bit and brought a little bit of a breeze.
Yes, yeah.
But then all of a sudden, this huge thunder clash, just bam, and it kind of made us all jump, around
Wow.
the tractor and everything, and it just was loud. And so I was really thankful it didn't come any closer than it did. But yeah, because you're out there. I mean, I'm on a metal tractor.
Yeah.
you
Yeah, that's
know,
really
And
scary.
so it could have been very dangerous, but I'm thankful that nothing happened there. But yeah, and we got the hay in with no rain, so that was good.
Yep, that was good. A blessing for you.
Yeah, that's for sure. Did a lot of hay this past few
I
days.
know. Which I think you as a listener should tell Ken that he needs to learn how to relax. Like really have a vacation.
I tell you
need
what.
a real vacation instead of just going home to work.
Well, I tell you what, here's the deal. I will put up the next time I'm going to take time off, and I'll put up a sign-up sheet. And I'll have everybody sign up to do some of the tasks on the farm for us, and then I can relax.
Oh, now see, I was thinking you need to put a sign-up sheet of places to go and have fun.
Well, I can do that too.
Yeah.
It's a twofold thing. You can sign up to work and then tell me where to go. It's a double blessing.
That sounds like a plan, I guess.
I like the idea. Michael W. Smith's version of Waymaker on Moody Radio Quad Cities at 7:17. It is Ken and Deb with you. Good morning. As I said, we are live streaming on Facebook, and so we've been getting some great comments. Heidi said, I was raised on a farm and bucked bales of hay every summer, and thunderstorms
wow.
and farm field work do not mix. That's right. It was very scary last night. We had that.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I would not want to be outside on a metal tractor like that
Sure.
exposed when there was
Yeah.
lightning near me. I
Right.
think that would be really frightening.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever had that happen, where I've had, that close of a lightning strike. So, yeah, anyway, so thankful that nothing happened there.
There have been some amazing lightning shows, though, out in the country, out here
Yeah.
at the station, just driving in on a stormy
Sure.
morning and lightning through the sky and
Oh, yeah.
up and down and horizontal. And it just shows the majesty of God. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
It is a little frightening if you're going to be out in it, but it is
Sure.
really pretty to watch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It reminds me of when we lived in Arizona, and they have a season called the monsoon season in Arizona when you have heavy rains, and as a matter of fact, they even have culverts or washes is what they call them, where the rain washes away. And you're not supposed to drive over those. You can get fined if you drive through those when there's a downpour because your car can actually get taken away. Anyway, but they have spectacular lightning shows down there because you can see for a long ways because it's flat, it's the desert. And we used to love sitting out on the back porch during a rainstorm like that and just watching the lightning. Very beautiful.
Yeah, if you have a photo like that from your phone, you should put it on our Facebook page.
Yeah, there you go. We'd
Share
love
it
to
with
see
us.
that. That's right. Hey, you could be a good neighbor by doing that. See? Anyway, if you want to be a good neighbor, you can share a good story with us about being a good neighbor, or maybe you've had one, or you've been one to somebody else, and you had a really neat thing happen you want to share. Let us know.
Our phone number is 800-221-9356. Also, you can share your story by texting neighbor
That's right.
and actually enter a contest and possibly win an iPad or an Amazon Echo Dot. And once again, that's neighbor to 800-221-9356. If you head over to our website and you have a few minutes, you can also read stories
That's right.
of how people have experienced neighborly people.
Exactly. And we want to thank Fellowship Home Loans for providing those prizes. They've been a good neighbor for over 40 years. 719, good morning.
Did a good job with that, Ken.
Thank you.
Oh. Well, what else is going on in the world? Well, it seems like there's more COVID cases.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's going on in the Quad Cities area. So is everybody wearing their masks when you go out, or?
That's one thing that's been very interesting is, at least in Kewanee, depends on where you go. Like I went to get some auto parts, and I'm not going to say where I went. I went to get some auto parts the other day. Nobody wearing masks. No employees, nobody no patrons, nothing. No masks whatsoever. You go to another store, everybody's wearing masks, and so it just depends on where you go, at least for us around that area. So I just found it very interesting,
It is kind of like a hit or miss thing, I think, in
Yeah.
some places.
Yeah, I was at a couple of the big box stores yesterday, and it was a bit of a split there,
Yeah.
whether who was doing it, who was not.
Yeah,
I will tell you one thing that I've enjoyed about one particular big box store
yeah.
is because of this, you actually have to use the entrance or the exit doors as they're assigned.
Yes.
I'm that OCD person
I am too.
who worked at a big box store in
Yes.
carts.
Right. Yes. That's one thing that drives me crazy because I will start coming out of a door to go on the outdoor because I always go in the indoor and I always go out the outdoor. And then there's somebody coming in the outdoor. I'm going, hey,
No comment.
she's one of them. She's one of them.
No comment.
I want to go, can you not read?
See, this is the way it is.
Here it comes.
You're walking toward a door and it opens and I go through it.
5
Do I
seconds.
care? If it
There's a
says
sermon
in
in
or
there
out?
somewhere, Deb. It's 7:22. It is Ken and Deb here. Good morning. Thanks so much for being along with us. If you have not checked out our live streaming on Facebook, you really should do that sometime because you get some pretty interesting conversations sometimes that we talk about. I won't go into it right now because we don't have time, but
Good
it
thing.
does have to do something with in and out and doors. But anyway, if you do not have our Today in the Word app, you can get that. We'd love to have you check that out because it's a great tool to have on your tablet or on your smartphone. You can get the Today in the Word devotional there, the Bible's there, also some other great resources as well.
Yeah, even discussion questions. So if you
Yeah.
want to use it around the dinner table and ask questions from your family members or as a couple, talk about the discussion questions. There's so much available, but you won't find it unless you head over and check it out
That's right. Go
at
to-
todayintheword.org or download the app.
Yeah, that's right. If you go to your app store, just put in Today in the Word, you can download it right there. 7:22, and we do have our news update coming up. Here's Pat Barrett and The Way on Moody Radio, Quad Cities.
That's
And the
funny.
way is you go in the indoor and out the outdoor. Oh, it's funny.
Oh, the way is that if there is a path to be had, why not try it? I mean, didn't Robert Frost say the way less traveled is what he chose just to experience new
Sure.
things? Mix it up.
Be easier to get through the eye of a needle.
All right. Hey, a lot of it is just not paying attention.
Did you see? Did you put that up? No, Heidi put it up.
What did Heidi put up?
She put up a car dragging a shopping cart down the road.
Where did she send that?
That was me replying to Heidi.
Oh, it was?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
I had to hit the
replying
reply.
to Heidi. You got to see that. Sorry, Heidi, I gave you credit, and you can take it if you want.
Okay, just take my credit.
Full disclosure, though,
it's a double credit. You both get credit.
I've never worked at a big box store, so, I just frequent them. But
Yes.
so I'll try to be more careful in going in the in and out the out.
Well, as
And-
long as you're not the person that changes a diaper and leaves the soiled diaper in the shopping cart in the parking lot.
No, I don't do that.
Well,
that's good.
okay. Well,
I'm
that's-
not in diapers yet.
All right, wrap it up, Ken. I think we're out.
Oh, and that's been another episode of Ken and Deb in the Mornings mid-morning show coffee break. We now know that Deb does not wear diapers. Join us again tomorrow at 7.